Hi, Carla.
Hey Zainab,
Hi, Carla. Good afternoon.
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Are we on air? I'm sorry, I just logged on, so I'm not too sure if
Oh,
everybody's
yes, yes,
listening.
we
Oh,
are on
everybody's listening
air.
already. Okay, so welcome. That was very quick. Welcome to the health station, everyone. Once again, calling from far, far, far away from the studio. So you might realize that there's a bit of confusion with the sound. I will be taking your calls. Zainab, I can't see you right now, so if you could
Oh,
just
really?
lower the camera a
Okay.
bit.
Okay, I'll fix it.
I will be taking your calls on today's special show. Today, the show is mainly about weight. For those of you who follow us on Instagram, definitely know what the show is about today. And it's a very interesting show because it really kills off a lot of those beliefs many people have about weight and what a healthy weight is. Oh, there you are, Zainab. Now I can see you. So thanks for having me. Welcome, everyone. Welcome once again to the Health Station on Nigeria Info. And we're going to go straight to it. I will be taking your calls. I would love to know what you have to say about weight and what the ideal weight according to you is, and how you think social media and so many trends out there are influencing our concept of what the ideal weight is. So let us brainstorm on the so many diets out there. I mean, I can start with a few that are known for many: low fat diet, low carb diet, paleo, keto, South Beach, intermittent fasting, Dukan, GM, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, unfortunately, we live in an era where the global culture idealizes thinness, and it also shuns larger bodies, which is not surprising that so many Nigerians out there, including teenagers, are on such diets, and many have regained the weight, if not more, and they see themselves as, having failed, and they're not in the ideal weight, so they're not healthy. But let me give you an example. Less than 1% of very large people go to a normal weight at all. And that, let's take the sample of a study that took around 100,000 women. That study was in women. So 1% of very large people got to a normal weight in that specific study, and most who did regained the weight they had lost within 5 years. So they made a study on 100,000 women, and most of them, unfortunately, despite losing that weight, regained some of that weight. Now, how did they lose it? It's not really clear. I'm just giving you numbers here so you can have an idea. So some medical experts, of course, are now saying that it's extremely tough to lose the weight long term, specifically if you have a lot of weight to lose. I'm not going to say because if you're fat, because fat is a very biased word. Everybody sees fat differently. Everybody sees thin differently. I would say overweight, meaning more than the weight your body might be used to, not more than the ideal weight that you're given on your BMI. And that's what I'm trying to say here. The dominant message people get from government, health organizations, the media specifically, is that weight and health are connected. Especially when it comes to calculating your BMI. The first thing you do once you go to a doctor is, what's your weight? What's your height? He calculates the BMI. He's like, look, you're underweight, you're overweight, or you're in the normal range. So bravo, you're a number, and this is how you identify yourself
Carla, may
is.
I ask what's BMI? BMI.
Yes, so BMI is body mass index,
All right.
and it's a ratio that takes into consideration your weight and your height. You can Google it, BMI, look at the formula and calculate it. I don't want to go too much into details. So basically, it's the ratio of what it's basically what they tell you is what your weight should be according to your height. So if you're this high, if you're this height, your weight should be between this and that. So depending on the number you have, usually the normal range, depending on the sources you go, is between, let's say, 18 to 23 or 20 to 25, depending on the sources. So BMI is an indicator, according to many healthcare professionals, of how healthy your weight is. But unfortunately, although there might be some level of truth. I mean, if you see a person who's morbidly obese, you're not going to say that that person's weight is healthy. But we're talking about people with excessive weight, a bit above the normal weight for them. We're not talking about people who are morbidly obese. And these people who have a bit of fat layers or who are a bit more curvy, who kind of seem more chubby than others might suffer and say, my BMI is high, so I'm not healthy. That's wrong. There is no strong evidence to suggest that higher weight automatically leads to poorer health. And that's what I want to try and get as a message. And I hope I won't be quoted out of context.
Right.
Because as I said, you have people who are morbidly obese, and this is quite dangerous. That's not a reason to say, fine, I'm not thin, but I'm still healthy. We're talking about people who are like a few pounds higher than the normal, and they're so focused on getting into that specific weight, or who are 5 to 10 pounds higher, heavier in weight than other people from their, height or their bone frame. There's so many factors that go in, and I'm trying to pass a message today is that you might be overweight, but that doesn't mean you're not healthy. You might be underweight, but that doesn't mean you are healthy. So your weight does not predict your weight does not predict how healthy you are. If you're extremely large-bodied, dropping some pounds can protect your joints from arthritis, of course, and it makes it easier maybe for you to exercise. But for most who are a little over what they and many perceive as the ideal weight, focusing on other health measures may be more important than what the scale says. You might be a little overweight all your life, but that's what might be better for your body than losing, let's say, 10 pounds where you have no energy whatsoever. So the thing is, we don't get much of that message from our healthcare providers. And it's sad because, once again, it's all about the BMI and what your BMI is, what your body mass index is, what's your height, what's your weight. Let's calculate it. Okay, you're this number, so you have to lose this amount of this amount of weight, without considering what's contributing to your weight. So many experts are stuck in their belief, and they don't accept anything of the contrary, that, okay, it's not necessarily your weight that defines your health. And you've got, of course, the people and companies with financial interests in pumping out anti-fat messages, from diet spreaders to drug companies to book authors, making you think that, if you want to be healthy, you have to be skinny. And of course, you have that message that body fat is bad and needs to be diminished as much as possible in such a gospel way in today's society that it's hard to believe it might not be true. And people think, yes, the more fat I lose, the healthier I am.
Just when I'm so desperate to add some weight.
Yeah. So, and some people are really desperate to add weight.
I am.
It's crazy. I never get what you want. So I just want to listen to what people have to say right now. I only want to listen to what every one of you listening to me right now has to say about your weight, about what you perceive as ideal, about how you think social media is really affecting. If it's not social media, it could be so many things. But I focus a lot on social media because that's the big trend nowadays. That's the easily accessible source that we have of information and data that's over bombarding our brains every day. 0700-993-993-993. I want to listen to what you have to say about weight, what you've been told about weight loss, and what may be wrong about it. Is weight loss necessarily a healthy thing to do? What is contributing to your weight? What does being healthy or having a healthy weight really mean? So let's keep the lines open, Zainab.
Yes,
I might be a listener more than a talker today. So whatever comes in, let's take it in.
Okay, so Carla, I think it's very important to also call the other number for females.
Yes.
014-657-190. 014-657-190. We do have some calls. Oh. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yes, am I onto Nigeria Info?
This is Nigeria Info 99.3.
Oh, okay. Okay, my name is Edward. I'm calling you from Ikoyi. So I was listening about the weight loss. And I want to find out more about the BMI. So I just want to contribute based on the BMI. So the BMI, which is body mass index, a lot of people mistake it to be a perfect idea for being healthy or being unhealthy based on, for example, if someone who's a bodybuilder would have a higher weight compared to someone who's not a bodybuilder, and the person might not be healthy but have lower weight. And the BMI might be right, but the BMI will show the person who's a bodybuilder that he's overweight or he's unhealthy, which is not right. So I think BMI indicator is wrong. So the right one should be, BMR, which is the amount of energy and the amount of fat the body has and the amount of muscle the body has, which should be considered to be healthy. So when we're talking about weight loss, we shouldn't be talking about just weight loss. I think the ideal way to be healthy is to talk about fat loss. Although not everyone wants to lose fat, some people need to gain fat. But if you have excess adipose tissue in your body, that should be considered to be okay. Let me lose fat. So when you're talking about weight loss, you should consider, okay, what am I losing? Am I losing muscle? Am I losing fat? You may lose weight and you lose your muscle, which is not healthy. So if you're losing weight and you're losing from the fat, I think that should be healthy. And if you get more muscle, that will increase the metabolism. And the metabolism is a process by which the body, converts calories into energy, and the amount of calories the body burns in 24-hour period. And I think we should talk more about fat loss in place of weight loss, if for those people that want to lose fat, not for those people that want to lose general weight.
All right, Carla, over to you.
Yeah. Thanks so much for calling. I wish I could interact with you in this conversation, but unfortunately, you guys can't hear me when the lines are open. I can hear you very loud and clear, and I was very happy to hear that statement. I hope you guys out there understood what was being said. Definitely, that brings me back to the first thing I wanted to share, which is weight is not an accurate measure of your health. He mentioned the BMI, so let me just quickly recap on BMI for those of you who are still confused about it. So BMI just says what your weight should be according to your height, which is really not taking into consideration your ethnicity, your bone frame, and your muscle to fat ratio. And he's absolutely right. You might be an athlete, and if you do your BMI, it's going to show that you are obese. Although what's contributing to your weight is muscles more than fat, and you're perfectly healthy. So what about that? Same thing for women or men who are in the normal BMI. And there are some machines, some scales you put people on. I used to use that when I used to see clients. And those machines tell you approximately what's contributing to your weight. So I had clients who would come so happy with a normal BMI, weigh themselves, and then we discover that what's contributing to their weight is a lot of fat and very little muscle. So you might look skinny, but that doesn't mean you're healthy, because you have too much fat, and where's the muscle? You barely have any, because you're too happy with yourself that you don't need to exercise and you eat whatever you want because you have a strong metabolism. But honestly, that's not it. What's going on inside is a completely different story. So thank you so much for sharing that. Do we have any other caller?
Not yet.
Okay, so I was talking about, and I'm going to continue what our listener just said, and thanks for saying that and for sharing, that weight is not an accurate measurement of health whatsoever. It does at a certain point. I'm not excluding the fact that you have the morbidly obese who can barely walk, that, oh yes, they're healthy. But no, weight doesn't necessarily mean. I'm giving you an example of doctors that took on heavy women in a research, and they keep on saying that, heavy women are cardiometabolically unhealthy. When I'm saying cardiometabolically, basically it's a term that summarizes blood pressure, cholesterol, triglyceride, blood glucose, and of course measuring the heart rate and the arterial fitness. So all these things. But in many researchers, there was not necessarily always a clear relationship between weight loss and health outcomes. So basically, shedding the pounds didn't really automatically and meaningfully lower blood pressure, diabetes risk, and cholesterol in all cases. It did in some, definitely. Don't get me wrong.
We have
many
another
clients
caller
who came with cholesterol problems, and then they lost weight and it all went. But equating being, I heard you, Zainab, I'll take that call. Let me just finish my sentence. Equating being heavier with having poor cardiometabolic health and being thin with the opposite is way off the mark. Data was shared from more than 400,000 participants in the government's annual National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey in the US. And they found that nearly half the people classified as overweight, more than a quarter of them were labeled obese, had perfectly healthy blood levels of lipid, glucose, meaning they were cardiometabolically fine. And a full 30% of normal weight participants had unhealthy levels of these markers. So that makes you think. Anyway, let's take the next caller. Hello.
Multiple calls, by the way. Oh.
I might not be able to respond back to you guys when you call, but I am listening. So please do call, do share what you have to say. And I really hope I'll be in the studio soon so we can interact better.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Oh.
Yeah, Carla, good afternoon. I want to ask, my name is TK. I'm calling from Ijimu in Lagos here. I want to find out, is there any reason for one to gain fat? Is there any use, like saying, oh, I need to be fat? At what point do you say you need to gain some level of fat in your body? Thank you.
All right. Carla, did you
Can
get
you
that?
repeat the question? Yeah, I didn't get that. I'm sorry, the line
Okay,
wasn't
so he
very...
says, at what point do you need some fat in your body?
Oh, you do need some fat in your body, definitely. You do need some fat because fat is there for so many reasons. I can give you the simplest reason why. It's that your cells' membranes are made of phospholipid bilayers, you call them, which is fat. So your body needs fats to also build those cells because your body is producing cells every day. So you need fat. You need fat to sorry, I got lost here. You need fat to insulate your organs. You need fat for your hormones. You need fat for your brain. One of them that your body can't produce, also known as omega-3, that our diets are kind of low in, that you need to supplement or make sure you're eating fatty fish from. Fat is important in the contrary. And that's the thing. We have been groomed and molded into thinking fat is bad, yet with all this trend of low-fat foods and low-fat diets, obesity has increased. And this is because sugar consumption and refined food consumption has increased. So the real culprit in all this story is not the fat, it's the sugar. It's sugar and it's the hidden sugar. I'm not talking about just table sugar because people might say, yeah, but I'm not having sugar in my tea. Well, excuse me, that's not where it stops. Sugar is hidden in so many things, from your cereals to your milk, to your anything you're eating that's low fat. They want to compensate the taste and make sure that you're going to still enjoy it. So what do? They remove the fat, they add the sugar. But I don't want to deviate from that question.
More
So do
calls.
we need fat? Yes, we need fat. Let me just finish answering that, Zainab.
All right.
And depending on the age, but in women in general, it's between 20 to, let's say, 35-ish. I don't like pointing one number because it all depends on each person. And in men, of course, it can go from 8% if you're a perfect athlete to 24%, but never less than that. Don't think that your body doesn't need fat. Fat is a natural thing in your body. But of course, if the more you have, the less your body needs of, then of course it might be a pressure on your heart, on your weight, because the more weight you carry as well, the more your heart has to work. So it's really a complex thing. There's no one answer fits everything. But then again, we need fat. We need to have some amount of fat in our bodies. And of course, depending on your age and your level of activity, you can know. But definitely, there is always a point at which you need fat. Let's take another caller.
Sorry about that.
All right. So the second point,
So,
Zainab, as we're waiting for
There is
another caller.
there is
okay,
one.
let's
Hello?
take that.
Hi,
Hello,
good
good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Please go ahead.
Okay. My name is Mercy. I'm calling from Allen.
Mercy?
Yes. Thank you very much for this wonderful program. Before I used to gather some weight around my waist. So if I bend down, I couldn't pick any. I wouldn't bend down and pick anything. Then when I started watching my weight, just like what that person said there, now you can be slim. You'll see how fat inside you. It will be bothering you. So when I started watching my weight, I find out that all those illness has gone, and I'm feeling happy. But people will mock you. They will say you are slim and you are still watching what you eat. You are still you don't have fat. Not knowing that you can be slim and you have fat inside you. So I'm very happy for this topic, and I thank you so much for educating us. Thank you very much.
Right, you're welcome.
Thank you for calling. I don't know if people are hearing me right now, Zainab.
They
But thank
can
you for
hear you
calling.
loud and
Thank
clear,
you.
Carla.
All right. So number 2, before I take a next caller, Zainab,
All right.
healthy behaviors are more important than the number on your scale. Healthy behaviors and not necessarily fitting into your tight jeans. Healthy behaviors are way more important, and they will take you further. Heavy people who do healthy things are as likely to thrive as anyone else. You can be a little overweight and still quit smoking, quit alcohol, do your exercise, eat healthy. That doesn't mean that you're not healthy because you're a bit higher in the average trend, you know. So also, of course, socializing enough to avoid isolation, minimizing stress, and managing depression. These all have to do with weight as well. So your attention should not be on the target weight, because at the point I had so many clients saying, so Carla, what do you think my ideal weight should be? Where should I reach on the number on the scale? I never got an answer for that. I never did, because each case is different. You might lose 5 pounds or 10 kgs and say, fine, I'm good now. Now my body can handle it. Some people were into their ideal zone of weight, and then they noticed, despite eating and properly and exercising and doing healthy stuff, that their bodies couldn't stand it. They didn't feel that
Hey,
energy,
Ali,
so
how
they
are
would
you?
add on
Tired,
more
Shadi.
weight.
My
So it's
bank is
really
bashing my head with charges.
Have I not shown you how to break free from sufferhead banking?
Is it that kudo something?
Kuda, Ali. It's Kuda.
That one kuda. Are they even safe?
Hey, where do I start? They don't charge me account or card maintenance. My Kuda card was free and delivered to my house free. I have never paid a naira for owning this card.
What about transfers?
Kuda will give you 25 free transfers to other banks every single month for the rest of your life.
You're right, Sha. Shadi. Is your hotspot on?
Better use your own data.
Shadi. Kuda Microfinance Bank gives you an account with free transfers, a free card, and 0 ridiculous fees. Break free now. Get Kuda on Google Play or the App Store now and open a full bank account in a few minutes. Kuda, the bank of the free.
Looking for the best place to buy land anywhere in Lagos State? Well, search no more. EUC Homes is the answer. With over 40 estates, we are known to be the best at what we do. Call us now on 0817-194-7272. That is 0817-194-7272 to purchase the very best of lands in Lagos with genuine title documents. Invest with EUC Homes today and enjoy good lands free from all forms of encumbrance and no Omonile drama. For more inquiries, please call 0817-194-7272. That is 0817-194-7272, or visit our office at Suite E124/127 Road 2, Ikota Shopping Complex, VGC Lekki, Lagos. EUC Homes. Now we be the Baba for real estate.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's time for Health 101 with Carla.
we do apologize for what happened the other time. It's technology. Carla.
All right, so I'm just going to end this nice and smoothly. Guys, we were still around. There was just a little technical problem there, but that's okay. We never have enough time, but I will continue this show by next week. We will continue on this topic, on this heated topic. And for those of you who tried calling and who did not get the chance to share their voice today, you can always do it by next week, or share your comments and questions on Facebook or on our Instagram handle at Balance with Carla. I can always answer those questions later on for next week in the show. Thanks for having me, Zainab. Have a lovely weekend. I will see you for the rest of the week next Friday. Why everything you've been told about weight loss may be wrong.
Right, always a pleasure. Bye, Carla.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.